Hello, everyone. We are back with the guard. Need to go defeat some lizards. What was that class that yells more than a captain and kills even slower? Yes, it is. How's your journey in the mountains? Okay, I think I found a way to get Sting into this rotation now. Yeah, it's a little bit more consistent damage output. Doing the Glimmering Deep instant solo, so it's slightly pissing me off. I don't know if I remember that instance actually, Glimmering Deep. Because I'm supposed to guide this damn minecart through it. Fun.
Gondor needs your aid.
Is this more morale? No, it's actually less morale. Okay. Oh, level up though. Alright, let's get... I think I'm gonna get Sweeping Cut. So Sweeping Cut has a bleed now. And then we'll move further down this tree, I guess.
How may I help you, friend? These are troublesome times indeed.
Oh, it is more morale, actually. Then I'm gonna wear it. It's time to get rid of this cloak.
Gondor needs your aid.
Gondor needs your aid.
I am afraid to wander too far from home lately. My family says that it is dangerous outside.
These are troublesome times indeed. These are troublesome times indeed.
Almost done the reward track. I still have almost 2 months with it though, so we'll be fine. What's the last thing that you get? Oh, a Mumik pet. Fun. Heads, and you get some horse cosmetics too, I believe. Yeah, I have the, it's only on one character, of course, but I do have the horse cosmetic. Actually, it might be... Is it on my war steed? Nope, it is not. Yeah, because it's only one per character. Or one per account, rather. Because why make anything account-wide? On an account-wide track. Damage feels a lot better now that we've gained some levels. Well, and skills are, I guess it also helps when skills stop being block parried and evaded. I just don't know if we really needed this extra skill, though, of Reckless Attack. You know, maybe in a raid scenario it feels good. But there's not even a tracery that upgrades it or affects it either, so... I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. It does do a lot of damage. It's, at least right now, it's 3,000 more damage than our main ability. Or our, like, hardest hitting ability, I guess. It's a lot of damage, but... you don't get to use it consistently. Red guards showing up in a raid, they're gonna yeet you off a mountain. There's that too, right? When are you gonna ever bring a red guard over just another champion?
My family says that it is dangerous.
Or even just
outside.
a red
afraid to
berg,
wander too
because
far
red
from
berg's
home
damage
lately.
is so good right now. The only way I can see it happening is if your kin already has 2 main tanks and you want in on the raid or instance. Yeah, that would really be it. In a competitive scenario, you just wouldn't. Yeah, you just would have to have another character. Like a red guard would never be allowed to come in on like mythic raiding in WoW. If there was a class that was built exactly like red guard and had its exact amount of damage compared to all the other classes, it just wouldn't come in at all ever. Lotro's lucky where it's not as competitive as WoW in that regard. You can truly bring anything to any raid and still get it done. Because, yeah, you can just... Literally any other DPS class will just do better. And that's just sad. I guess if your only options are you have to bring in a second red captain or a red guard, I guess you bring in a red guard in that scenario. But... And you would only do that if you didn't already have a blue mariner in the group.
The soldiers of Gondor have all gone to war.
Because if you had a blue mariner in the group, if you didn't have a blue mariner, then you would bring 2 red captains, so that both groups can get 2 arms.
Our lands were once peaceful, but it is now dangerous to travel far from home.
Yeah, that shit wouldn't have flied in Lord of the Drinks Elite in my rating days. Imagine getting sidelined in favor of a red card. I didn't uninstall the game at that point. Yeah, uninstall or make a new character. Those are your options.
The rumors of enemies pressing in from all sides.
Unless there's just some weird scaling that happens after, like, I don't know,
peaceful, but it is now dangerous.
130 that I'm just not aware of with red guards.
Our lands were once peaceful.
Like, maybe once you hit 140 and you have all of your trait points, like, maybe once you get down further into the yellow line, maybe there's, like, some pure insanity that's great for raid.
Our lands were once peaceful, but it is now dangerous to travel far from home.
Because, like, let's see here. Well, the thrill of danger and bring on the pain, that's more of like a survivability thing. You don't really need it. It's not going to increase your damage. 2% incoming healing, no. Area effect damage, sure. I guess you could put on War Chant if you really wanted to. I mean, it's going to reduce your block and parry or something. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of there. Negating damage isn't going to matter. I do know where a red guard fits, but we'll get into that later. The debuffs is nice. So basically what I want to do is actually put the points into here to get the rest of the debuffs. Buff our debuffs, and then you do want this. So this is really the only other extra damage we're getting. There's another dot. Applies guardian debuffs and some bleeds to affected targets. Interesting. Oh, that puts bleeds on 5 targets. Interesting. And all the debuffs. So where red guard is really good, and I'm okay with this part of it because it's actually always been good in this scenario, is actually PvP. Red guards are really good in PvP. They've got lots of survivability and like damage reflex. All of these debuffs and stuff are super useful. And because of how the Redguard damage output works, it is really good in PvP because you have like sustained damage. But you then also have like the on-demand burst when you need it, right? Like you can just keep your rotation going to maintain all of your bleeds while still putting out consistent damage. And then when you need that burst, you can just consume all of the bleeds and get that insane damage in there. So PvP, Redguard's probably actually really good. Like, yo, I got all my 100 traceries up and running. I'm ready to raid. What? You want the Red Guardian? Okay, I'll transfer off the server now. Is there anything in blue line that I'm gonna want at any point? If this was like percent tactical mitigation, I'd take it. Guardian's Ward power cost reduction? This gives me power. What? Guardian's Ward power cost reduction. But this doesn't cost power. This literally has no cost. Okay, so that's just a... Is that even in blue line? Hold on. Why is this a trait? Oh, it reduces skill power cost. I see, not the cost of this specific skill. I was so confused for a second. It's like, wait, what? So then is there anything in blue line that I'd want? I mean, finesse rating is okay. Sting to provide a parry response isn't terrible because you spam it, but if you can get Guardian's Pledge, I guess that's fine. That's useless, and you're not really going to get much further down the tree in that regard. Okay. So really the most useful thing is Pledge if you decide to put points into Guardian's Ward, basically. Okay. I don't even know if that's really worth it. You're better off getting more bleeds and like self-sustain, I guess.
Your aid.
These are troublesome times indeed. Gondor needs your aid.
Gondor needs your aid.
Guess Guardians are the Death Knights in WoW? What? No, Death Knights are ridiculously overpowered in WoW. At least they were the last, like, 4 expansions that I played. Are Death Knights trash now? I had no idea.
Gondor needs your aid.
Because even like War Within with the hero talents or whatever, Death Knights were stupid overpowered. So it took them until the most recent expansion to finally nerf them to the ground. Death Knights were amazing in BFA, Shadowlands, Dragonflight, War Within. Legion, I would imagine. I didn't play in Legion, but I'm pretty sure Death Knights were also overpowered at that point. Oh, it's another stupid loot the bodies quest. Where's this body that I killed? There it is. You know, they really should have maps for every major city, not just Bray, like Dale and like or Lake Town, for instance. I agree. Cause it's just Minas Tirith, Edoras, Rivendell, is there a map for Dol Amroth? Let me check. I think there should be. Yeah. I guess well, maybe there's more than I thought. I won't count Osgiliath because it's more of a zone. Estelden needs one. Estelden needs one. Oghire. Stray Kyla could use one too. You're also not going to Osgiliath to find a damn Vault Keeper. This is true. This is true. Do I need to kill you? Not yet, apparently. Oh wait, that's more vitality, less. No. Bother with that.
Tell me what you need or move along.
Well, before we save you, let me get these weapon stashes. I'll leave you there suffering. Hold on, I'll be back. Don't die yet on me.
The Corsairs camped in Lamidan have wounded Furion badly, and his life hangs on a thread while they look on in mirth.
What do you need?
They also sure love their lore pages in those zones. Oh, yes. After the Black Book of Mordor, you get all of the lore pages.
These are troublesome times indeed.
How may I help you, friend?
Crit defense, crit rating, might, and vitality. So I'm going to be losing morale. And crit rating, but we're gaining a little bit more might. And then obviously the crit defense. No. Don't need it.
Gondor needs your aid.
How may I help you, friend?
Ooh, War Steed Endurance, yes please. Is there anything? Ooh, that seems useful actually. Survivability. Well, yeah, they're just housing items, really. Honestly, the only cool one, personally, is the Mordor one. Because at least that one, it kind of talks about... it does a mixture of talking about, like, the battle against Sauron, like the Battle of the Last Alliance. And then it also does, like, some fun origins and backgrounds on each of the Nazgul. So I think that's kind of cool, but... Yeah, it's the Mordor one's the best one, in my opinion. Oh, you got mad, okay. I guess the other thing about those items too is they're only just housing items, really. You just get a book that tells you the full story, or like all the pages. That's all it is. Oh my god. Okay, that was a mistake. Wanted to test our AoE, and we did not live. Be nice if you really want to delve into RPing a lore master. Create a big study with those books on display. Yeah. Well, now that they updated the housing a little bit, you can do a little bit more with those books rather than... By default, they just sit on the floor. Like, they're just a book that just takes up a full decoration slot, and it just sits on the floor. So now you can at least manipulate them and maybe put them in a bookshelf or something. But it does still suck that each individual book takes up one decoration slot each. Oh my god. Okay, these warhounds are a little bit scary. No, they don't come with a stand. Unless they've updated them, they don't come with a stand. When I played Mordor, they were their own individual book. And they just sat on the floor. What kind of cheap ass bullshit is that? CSSG, this is what happens when you get your housing decorations from Temu. Oh. New person joined the Discord server. Time to message them and make sure they're not just a bot or something. They... Okay, no. If it's that Stephen guy with the DSP avatar, just ban him. I usually give them about 5 minutes to respond to my message, and if they don't respond to my message, then I just kick them from the server. The last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 people I've done that to. Never got back to me, so they weren't upset that they were booted off the server. Oh my god, stop evading everything! God damn. Okay, now he can go back in.
Hadat Aimenu!
Alright, because the person's not responded, time to send them another message and then kick them off the server. No bots or scammers allowed. Live power abuse on Twitch. Yep. Alright, boom. They don't even have a profile picture, so it's even more clear that they're probably a bot. Rip bot.
Our lands were once peaceful, but it is now dangerous to travel far.
Our lands were once peaceful, but it is now dangerous to travel far from home.
Why is
10
it
in a row,
always so
woo.
dangerous now?
Hell yeah. Probably only lasts maybe a couple more weeks. And then the streak will end as you get super busy
Have you heard the
with
rumors of
Stampede.
enemies pressing in from all sides?
Only even days, not even weeks. Not even weeks yet, just days. Oh, time to get drunk
Tell
with a
me what you
pirate.
need or move along. Stay and hear me out. What can I do for you? Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
You'd think I'd get like a buff to this as a dwarf.
Tell me what you need or move along.
More vitality, less might. Yeah, no. That level 98. Let's save our points now so that we can get Bastion of Light, I think. So we can start going into the debuffs.
I'll not be ignored.
Okay, is there a way to turn... I don't want to sit with this effect for 5 minutes. Oh, it's post-processing, but isn't that going to change my mouse? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, great. Maybe
You
they
have
fixed
earned the
it.
respect of the formidable Captain Jarjax, and he will now negotiate with you regarding the fate of Lothgobel.
The camera still gets funky, but that's
Why
okay.
are you bothering me?
RP elements, what kind of game do you think you're playing? Made by competent people? If you ever see me getting a 10 streak, call help. That means 10 straight times I'm being drunk, or almost at least. Oh yeah, I just realized too, the bot that, or the supposed bot, I don't technically know they're a bot, but the person that just joined the Discord recently, I realized that they only made their Discord account 7 days ago.
Tell me what you need.
So that's even more likely a bot than an actual person. Yeah, 7 days old of a Discord account. 7 days and still not made a choice for a profile pic. Picky fucker. That's what I'm saying. Anyone who doesn't have a profile picture for Discord just isn't a person. At least get a Miku picture or something. It's okay, more people do it. Well, even the art scammers even put a profile picture. I mean, yes, it's just like an AI generated.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Random AI or anime character, but they still put a profile picture in.
Gondor needs your aid.
Might, vitality, crit rating. Yeah, it's a decent amount of more morale. I'll take it.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's only West Rohan. Don't need that one. That's West Rohan. That's Eldonorian. Okay, so save those. Like you're being a little insensitive, Wayne. They could have watched the tape from the ring, and joining your server was their last act of trying to get help, and now you're fucking dead. You just kicked a dead person from the server. Hope you're really pleased with yourself. If that's truly what happened, I am definitely pleased with myself. Absolutely. Don't bring your cursed ring soul onto my Discord server. I don't want that. I don't want that vibe in here. No curses allowed. You want to bring your curse somewhere? You can go curse another server with your soul, not mine. But I do send them a message saying, like, if you're not actually, you know, like if you are truly a viewer from YouTube or somewhere, you're welcome to join the server again and let me know. But you join the server, I immediately respond to you, and you don't say anything, and all these other things, you're probably not a real person. But I do tell them they're allowed to come back. Because I don't ban them, I just kick them. So they got the link, they can join again and message me. But none of them do, so I don't feel bad. Get your men under control, Tiger Lady. Excuse me.
These are troublesome times indeed. Gondor needs your aid.
Man, control yourself. There, I did it. That's why I gotta be more proactive about these things. Because of that exact scenario. Don't bring your curse to the server, he says, when there was an actual succubus prowling the streets of your server. That's why I gotta be more proactive now. I could have been killed by the Canadian version of Sadako.
Gondor needs your aid.
Why do you think I'm getting rid of my TVs? You're crawl out of that somewhere else. Is that one way to get rid of Sadako? Is just change your TV?
This is intolerable.
Well, it's better than joining your Discord server for advice. We've established that today, didn't we?
Gondor needs your aid.
Alright, back up north. Did I talk to the stable master? I did.
Gondor
Gotta
needs
get
your
the stable
aid.
points. You really went out of their way to make Scarhold a maze to navigate? Where's Scarhold? Oh. This is the main hub in Arid Mithrin. Okay. From this map, it looks like a maze, but yeah, this would actually be a good spot to have. Why can't it be its own map? Can I not zoom in? Where's Gundabad? Oh, here we go. No, you'd think Gundabad would be bigger than Moria. Or at least, I don't know, bigger than this. 1, 2, 3, 4 zones? 5 zones, I guess. Does this even count as a zone? This looks more like the main hub almost. It's different layers with broken stairs. Oh. Interesting. I think for me is the Veils. Just following the book seems... Yeah. It'll be the Veils, and then the Veils will take you back to Mordor. But it's the second age of Mordor, and then you'll be doing Minas Morgul after that. And then after Minas Morgul, it's back up to Gundabad. And then from Gundabad, it's Umbar. And then you're in the desert. Actually, I think based on the rumors, The next expansion is supposed to be super far north. Like, we're going from... Jokingly, we're going to another desert, but instead of a desert, it's a winter desert, because it's just a winter wasteland. Or a snowy wasteland. Yeah, I think we're going to Fordwaith is the rumor. So... Which path leads there? Is there even a path that actually leads up there right now? Iron Hills? Maybe the Iron Hills. Because it doesn't seem like there's anything in Arid Mithrin. Guess it could be up here. Yeah, we could be bridging the gap between Arid Mithrin and Angmar. And this path that says to Angmar will actually be to the next expansion. Otherwise, it's maybe this path here. The Iron Hills that goes up north. Because we're going to Frodwaith, I believe. That's the rumors, at least. Is there a path? Look at Angmar. It could be this path too, actually. It could be in here. That like connects up around behind Angmar. I think that's the only thing I'm always interested with the expansions, is just hearing about where they've decided to send us next. Yeah, if it is truly... Like, they could be doing a lead into some sort of, like... Yeah, like, Angmar's rise. Like the actual rise of the Witch King and the destruction of Arnor. Like, I do truly believe, based on the rumors of the... of Fornost assets, like a rebuilt Fornost. And a rebuilt Amonsul. And if the rumors are saying that we're going super far north, like, I don't know, I could foresee something being like, yeah, you start the expansion kind of north of Angmar, and we get more of Angmar's history, and then like the following expansion or updates, I guess, being Angmar's rise and the destruction of Arnor. Like, I do see a path that way. Which sounds intriguing as a story, because I love Angmar's story a lot, but we'll have to see. Well, right, yeah, like, where else do they go? So we always have the rebuilding Moria. We could go back to Moria. Otherwise, there's East Blight and the Karnan. Is it Karnan Vale? Oh, it's not listed as that on the Middle Earth map. Yeah, the Brownlands, I guess. Right, so there's the Brownlands, the East Blight, basically everything southeast of Mirkwood and south of Dale. We could go into Rune in the Sea of Rune. And like into Dorwinion. There's also this area right north of Mordor. There's also still there's actually a lot in Mordor that we haven't done, like Lithad, and we've never also gone to Nirn either. So that's kind of interesting. Because, yeah, we have 2 Nirn, which we've never done. Minas Morgul doesn't quite go down that way. But yeah, we could get Nirn in Mordor, Lithad, and then we still technically have Khond, where more of the Easterlings live, and the Mumakil, and then Rune. Other than that, I mean, we still technically have, like, just this last little bit of Gondor on this side, and then, like, and all this area west of Dunland and Enedwaith. Like, there's this little section here, which there is I mean, you could do content there, but the problem is there's just also, there's nothing there either. Like, there's sure the random, like, Wildman tribes, I guess, but so you'd be really, like, making up some random stories to get down here. And then there's the marshlands south of the Shire, and then you have the Grey Havens. But I would imagine all of this would be for a Grey Havens expansion at some point. They'll do like a Blue Mountains thing and a Grey Havens thing. Makes you wonder if they have the end planned, like X amount of expansions are left. I think they do. Personally, I think they do. I think, was it Umbar? It was either Umbar or Gundabad that they mentioned that, like, people were like, so are we getting to the end of the game here? What else is left, kind of thing? And they did mention, like, oh, don't worry, the game's not ending soon. We still have at least 10 years of content planned. So at that point, I was trying to map it out. So I was like, okay, you could have, like, another Mordor, a Rune, a Khond, Brownlands, East Blight. So that's 4. Grey Havens, 5. Blue Mountains, 6. Angmar, Forodwaith, 7. Which gives you like 3 years of just random fillers. But they said a minimum of 10. So they obviously could still have more. Rebuilding Moria, I guess you could put one in there. Scourging of the Shire is still going to happen at some point. There's no way they don't do that. Even as like a weird instance or skirmish or something. It's cute that they think they have 10 years left in them. When did Yeah, so as of next year is the it's been 10 years since Mordor came out. Which is that's kind of wild to think about. That they've been able to have 10 years of content after Mordor even. Is next year the 20th anniversary too? Wow. Yeah, maybe they're going for a nice solid 30 years. 30 years of Lotro and then it's done. Oh, an icy chill falls across the land as the Bane of Runes stalks forth from the shadows. So we do have a Nazgul that has appeared. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I do believe it was 2007. Which makes sense because I do think they tried to do some. It was kind of planned to have Mordor being the 10th anniversary of Mordor, right? Of Lotro. From when from Lotro's
How may I help
first
you?
day to 10 years later, it finally got to Mordor. Near gate to Osgiliath. Okay, time to switch to Lore Master and go kill a Nazgul. Yeah, I mean, they do deserve some credit for keeping it alive this long. For sure. Not many MMOs have done that. But honestly, the only MMOs that have lived that long have a massive, like, fan base or IP to begin with. Like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, World of Warcraft, and... I don't even... Is Final Fantasy 14 10 years old? I don't think so. It'll probably last at least 10 years, though. Elder Scrolls has got to be 10 years, actually. Elder Scrolls Online came out... Yeah, Elder Scrolls Online was 2014. So it's made 10 years, but Elder Scrolls is a massive IP as well. I think that's the key with MMOs, is it's got to have a massive IP. Anything that's just like a new concept of a world, I don't think lasts as long. Realm Reborn was 2013? Okay, yeah, there we go. So Final Fantasy. So we gotta go to Minas Tirith. Yeah, and the initial Final Fantasy 14 was 2010. Okay. They said right near the gate of Osgiliath. Oh, I totally agree. Yeah. What Final Fantasy did is crazy. People aren't liking the game, so let's blow up the world and fix the game and make it so that people like it. And we've given ourselves, yeah, a lore reason to make it work as well. Should I not? Oh, I see it on the map now. It's not quite near. Well, it's north of the gate, I guess. All right, Nazgul. Just a lore master soloing the Nazgul. Or tanking it, rather. Gandalf tried that in the movie, it didn't work out. Well, he tried to tank the Witch King. Maybe this specific, the Bane of Ruin, he could solo. Oh yeah, we don't have a ring here yet. Meanwhile, Arwen had to multi-kill and jumped on top of the leaderboard. I might just die here again. Oh, no, it got removed. Okay. The only thing here that is being killed is the frame rate. Right? Well, yeah, we don't have a ring. Because it still has a massive buff because there's no ring nearby. Well, we got rid of 3 million health. What do you use? What would you say is easier class level, RK or Brawler? Ooh. Yellow RK is really fast leveling just because of its high burst damage. It's ranged, and you can cast while moving, so you can just run around and blow things up. I don't know. I would say it might be a little bit faster than Brawler just because of the ranged aspect, but I'd say their damage is pretty equal from a leveling standpoint. Oh, someone with the ring finally showed up. amount of debuffs and dots on that. Yep. Actually, that can kind of help with the lag a little bit, or the frame drop. Is it social options? There. It's probably gonna make a massive difference, but have a ring on it now? So much dread. I still have the dread though. I'm probably gonna die just getting there again. Oh, there we go. Dread went away. Hope token is an option, but the Nazgul gives you, I think it's 13 dread. So the Hope token isn't actually even enough to combat all of the dread that you get. Oh, there we go. Nazgul defeated. Do I get my coin? Oh, there it is. We did it. And that's why the actual gear that you get for killing the Nazguls and the Wraiths that you barter for, all of the gear actually comes with hope. So that with a hope token plus the gear, then you're actually neutral, and it's 0 hope but 0 dread. But the gear itself is kind of trash. It was good actually at like level 50 and 60 because you had well, you could like max out your stats with like just jewelry or just armor, so you could actually use the hope gear to get higher resistances and further increase your morale, because all that's on it is vitality and shadow resistance, I believe. Maybe a couple of other random stats. But then, of course, it all has hope, just like just like the Radiance gear did back in the day in Moria. All right, well, I think we can go back to the guard now. Yeah, and the Light of Arendelle gear. I'm surprised no one bought this. Maybe I put it too high. Because this is a really good weapon for bears. I'll do 10 gold instead. I think maybe I did it too high. I'll try that. Here, we can go take a look at the gear before I swap over.
How may I help you, friend? Uh-oh. Nazgul sought revenge. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so if we go to...
Oh yeah, here we go. What's the kindred stuff? Yeah. So there's a ring. Yeah, vitality, shadow mitigation, outgoing healing or physical mastery, tactical mastery. So it has mastery, vitality, and shadow mitigation. But then if you wear 6 pieces, you get 3 hope. So that's kind of just what the gear looks like. So you get 2 rings, you get 2 bracelets, and then 2 earrings, basically. So like it's at lower levels, it wasn't terrible because it was just flat mastery and vitality, and then gave you some nice defenses for raids and stuff. Serves you right for killing a hopeless wraith. There was some at level 75. There was this fun cloak and helmet, and some other gear as well. It's weird that they didn't add more. I think there's supposed to be more at 105 that they're adding. And then there's just the Shadow Hedgehog, a Wisp, all of these replicas of their weapons. Each Nazgul has its own mat for a house, which I'll probably buy before I transfer off the server. I'll buy each of them and stick them in the house that I get. I'll make sure that I buy all of the pets, and I'll put them on, probably on my Lore Master at the very least. A hound, a shadow cat. And then there's these weird effigies, which are just kind of like toys that they've added. Well, those are the rewards right now. Oh, now I gotta wait for the game to fix itself because I logged out. Logging out breaks the game. For a second, I thought you were playing WoW. Logging out does break that game. Hello, game? Please? I had to go to the hospital today to finish more things that didn't get done because I was tired. Oh no. Oh, there it is. Game just decided to crash. Got it. It finally gave up. Okay, just log back in. Just don't log out. You'll be fine. I know, right? How dare I log out and switch characters? Lotro is like me, always broken with one person working on it. Oh no. Well, fuck, I actually got one of the page quests done. See? Some of them you can get done by accident. The Mordor one isn't actually too bad if you go, like, they're at all of the, whatchamacallit, like, discovery deed locations, basically. You go to every ruin or something like that, and you'll find it. You'll find them all eventually. Warrior's Heart. Do I have that one? Warrior's Heart, Stoic Bubble Strength. Warrior's Heart, Morale Heal. Here we go. Sweeping Cut, let's go. Be like Lotro, broken with a passionate community around you that complains about your existence, but is still happy that they get to play with you. That is a very accurate representation of the community, or a part of the community. The other part ignores your problems and just pretends like everything is fine and perfect. And refuses to see your faults. Those are the two halves. Very supportive, though. Very supportive. Wow, it is me in real life. The one person working on this Lotro is overwhelmed. Clearly. I do wish they actually had a larger group of people working on this. If they somehow found a way to increase the budget to hire more people consistently, or like, you know, like 10 more full-time employees, I do think this game could just really skyrocket in popularity. Because with those 10 extra people, they could really focus on all the quality of life stuff and bug fixes and whatnot, and just really make the game feel good to play and bring in more people. But D-Window Guy worked on Ben. Yeah, D-Window Guy's the one causing my problems. Yeah, so Ben, D-Window Guy is... So... Oh, here, hold on. We'll go to the normal one first. So this is the deed log, right? You have the deed log. It's basically just like the achievement tab in WoW. That's all it is. We'll just call it the achievement tab in WoW. This is the deed window guy. Wanted is just a guy that we created. It could have been multiple people, but we'll say it's one guy that did the coding and the design for the deed log for an updated version. So this is the old version. This is the new version. Now it's a little bit buggy because they had to disable it. So when they updated the deed log and made it just, its functionality was terrible. The art was kind of cool, but it just didn't function the same and it didn't look right. But on top of that, every time you opened up the deed window, and every time you completed a deed or an achievement, the game would crash. So like there would be an achievement to kill like 100 orcs. If you killed 100 orcs, the game would just crash because you completed a deed. So that's deed window guy. Deed window guy is whoever worked on the coding that somehow made it so that every time an achievement was completed or a deed was completed, the game would crash. I know, if it was multiple people, it makes it worse. And to this day, it's a mystery on how, like, they disabled the deed log because it was crashing the game. So it's like it still exists within the game. It just doesn't have a function anymore because they disabled it. Because if they didn't disable it, you would crash the game constantly. So that's why we still have the normal deed log. Like if I went to Wildermore and killed, what was that? 17 more orcs in Wildermore, my game would just crash because I completed a deed. It was wild. Truly wild.
Why are you bothering me?
Sometimes when I discover a location on my body, it causes me pain. Oh, that's true. Yeah, even just completing a tick. Yeah, so like if you want, each individual enemy had a chance to cause the crash. But if you completed the deed, it was like a guaranteed crash, basically. So it was coded by the deed window team. Yeah, either the team or the one guy, whoever it may be. Yeah. The last time I touched Redguard was when like the first set of changes were implemented, and this was before Reckless Attack and like Blind Rage and stuff was added. And some changes to the yellow line, but now that the full changes are in, I decided to revisit the Redguard. And now that I've figured out the rotation a bit better, it's not terrible. I think there's honestly only one, the animations still need to be fixed, but the only thing that drives me insane was the change to remove the corruption removal off of Sting and put it on Stagger. At least they reduce the cooldown of Stagger, but still. So to go back to RK, is Redline less favorable because it's more dot-based? Because I presume the red one is fire. Yes, Redline is fire. It's really good. I really like Redline. It's just, yeah, from a leveling perspective, Yellow Line is just, it's just faster. If you're going for speed, Yellow Line is just faster because it's all instant cast abilities.
These are troublesome.
And you can cast while moving, right? So you can just run around and shoot lightning at people. Where Redline, Very fun, still very high damage output. It's just slower because it's all inductions and dot damage focused. But it's better in longer fights. Like if in a boss fight, I think Redline's better because it does more damage over time or in a longer period of time.
I am no warrior. If a raiding party does threaten our work, I will be helpless.
It would be nice if all instances did have a solo mode. Because, yeah, some of them are really fun. Can't be that hard to implement then again. I mean, I feel like the older stuff is like would be easy to implement, especially because the older stuff, a lot of it scales with level anyways. So it should be easy to just make some adjustments to like a solo version of like the Barrow Dance or whatever, or Fornost. But granted, for the Barrow Downs, you can actually solo as most classes. I think the only classes that struggle are those that either don't have heals or aren't like a true tank class. Like I think a hunter would struggle. A champion might struggle. But like a bear, lore master, guardian, captain, warden, runekeeper, minstrel, they can all actually solo the Barrow Downs instances. I would love to try RK or guard, but my captain is my favorite. RK is really fun. I think I liked the old Red Guard still a little bit better just because the flow of the class was really nice, which is why I think once they cut down some of the animations with Red Guard, it'll feel a lot better. But I love tanking on a guard. I love tank guard. And then RK is just a lot of fun. I think RK is a blast.
These
But
are
captain's good too. I do have
troublesome
a
times indeed.
captain. Their utility and like survivability is really nice. These get a solo mode debuff, so you just apply that debuff to all mobs in all instances if you do it solo mode, and you're good to go, I would imagine. Oh, if they get a solo mode debuff, it's kind of similar to when book quests give you like that buff so that you're doing, it treats you as like 6 people basically. Like it buffs your damage by 200%, your morale by 200%, so that you can do those book instances solo instead of needing a group to do it. Yeah, so that makes sense. Kind of just the opposite effect. Debuffing the enemies instead of buffing you. I think that would be a good like alternative to delvings. Like instead of doing delvings to gear, you could do like a nerfed or a solo version of all the different instances, and it would give you the same type of gear as what delvings do. That would be kind of fun. Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to give you the best gear, but it can just give you like a simplified or scaled version of gear. It's slightly better than crafted gear, but it's not as good as if you just ran the dungeon as like a 6-man kind of thing, because you're just doing it solo, but it's still an upgrade over questing gear. And you're doing instances and stuff.
How may I help you?
I think, yeah, that would be fun. I think any 3-man dungeon, essentially every class can solo. Again, maybe if you don't have a lot of self-healing, like a hunter or a berg, you're going to struggle, but 3-mans, I think, are easier or easy enough to solo. Well, actually, I say that, except for the ones at 65. Where is it? Except the In Their Abyss or In Their Absence dungeons. Those ones you cannot solo, as they were buffed to make them harder. So even the 3-mans are actually incredibly hard. But even like, yeah, Woe of the Willow has a solo. They could make School and Library have a solo. Halls of Night. Argaroth the Narrow Delve. What is that one? Igaroth. The Narrow Delve. Huh. Oh, it was part of the Wildwood update. I see. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Sarkvorn is solo. It'd be cool if you could solo the Osgiliath ones. Dolgold, the Mirkwood ones would be fun to solo. Moria would be fun to solo. Anuminous. Just kind of like skirmishes, right? You can solo skirmishes or do them as a group. Imagine that, giving people options to do content. So we'll never get it. Yeah, more like they don't have the time or the budget to do it. They gotta pump out those yearly expansions.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I do not like the look of these weapons at all. These are weapons of Umbar.
Oh, I did not
These Corsair
help
raiders
J-Jax.
likely landed at the shore west of here, in Belfalas.
There we go.
I do not ask much of you.
These Corsair raiders likely landed at the shore west of here, in Belfalas.
Quick side note, because it's important and I'm really getting into the lore of the Witch King, that's into the lore of the Witch King, that specifically the creation of the Barrow-Downs. Yes, it was the Witch King that created the Barrow-Downs specifically, yes. I think that's part of some of like my favorite lore is the Witch King. Actually, we were talking about that earlier. Where I think the next expansion, based on rumors, is going to take us to Forodwaith, which is, yeah, the far northern frozen wastelands of Middle-earth. And they're going to connect it back to Karn Doom. And we're going to get some Witch King lore. And then I think they're going to do like a go back in time thing where we get to see Fornost when it was originally built, Amon Sul or Weathertop, how it was originally built before the Witch King destroyed it all. And we could probably get, yeah, like the creation of the Barrow-Downs in there. Yeah, that lore, that's some of my favorite lore. And I was so disappointed when Rings of Power kind of just brushed over it. So much so that I want to make a model for the Witch King for the Moria project. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do have the Witch King written in the story, right? In that flashback sequence. Well, that'll be next month's 6-second bit. Yeah, that's fair. We gotta do the Balrog first. The discovery of the Balrog in the spooky cave. Which has been feedback that I've heard from a lot of people is they want like they really want more horror elements in Middle-earth, and they think that Moria is the perfect place to do that. So the creepier and scarier we can make the dark caves, I think the better.
Word coming to?
Since it seems like that's what people are really.
My piece?
They've just said Moria would love to see horror elements in Middle-earth. And Moria is the best place to do that. So yeah, just digging up the Balrog in the cave, and then the standoff between him and Durin would be a good 6 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Then you expand on it later. Oh, wait. Travel to... Oh, okay. Wait, did we... Oh, we did just complete the quest there. Okay, perfect. Yeah, 6 seconds is just like the teaser. This is the vibe. These are kind of the events. And then you just expand upon them. Where did the music go? Lotro is so quiet when there's no music. Wait, what the hell? This is eerie. Hello, music? You might need to get in combat and it'll fix it. Just like Moria, right? Eerie, just like Moria. Oh. Not up this way. Is it just this section of Gondor that doesn't have music for the zone? TTS sucks right now, by the way. Text to speech, yep. There we go, there's the music. Yeah. Maria instead of Moria. Wants more horror, immediately turns the music up like a little bit. Yep. It was just too quiet. I didn't like this. The pure silence bothers me. Yeah, that's fair. Your hands are busy doing other stuff.
Gondor needs your aid.
Why do you interrupt me? Why do you interrupt
I'm
me?
not. What am
Why
I
do you
interrupting
interrupt
you?
me?
You're not doing anything. You're just standing here.
How may I help you, friend?
Jerk.
How may I help you, friend?
The pure silence of Moria is quite something. And I think it's the pure silence and the pure darkness. Because some areas, sure, maybe you'd hear like the waterfalls or water dripping, the creaks and cracks of the mountain or the wind blowing through the tunnels or whatever. But like down in the depths, it's just pure silence and pure darkness that like a torch isn't even bright enough to light more than like a foot in front of you. You don't think there'd be even pure silence in like the shadowed refuge? The darkest depths? Yeah, maybe some water dripping. tons and tons of rocks and stones make noise. That's true. That's true. I think for a vibe though, it'd be fun to play with just pure silence. But yeah, like water drops, rocks shifting, it would echo quite a lot down there. That is fair. Where are these boxes? Oh, there's one. Yeah, in the 21st hall. Vibes. Demon raid. Thanks for the raid, Vibes. I appreciate it. Welcome, everyone.
Why do you interrupt me?
Just doing some Lord of the Rings nonsense while hanging out. How old is Moria? Oh, Moria's like 6,000 years old? It's supposed to be one of the oldest cities ever built. What does Google say? Okay, hold on. How old is the Mines of Moria? Oh, I was off. We don't technically know how old it is. We just know that it's been around for about 10,000 years once the Fellowship arrives in it. When the Fellowship arrives in Moria, it's been 10,000 years since it was originally built. But yeah, I think 21st Hall. 10,000-year-old house, definitely a fixer-upper. Here, let's go into Moria. Great delving, lots of noise. The gardens and stuff in the northern parts, lots of noise. 21st Hall and all of the crazy walkways and stuff. Second Hall, tons of noise. Red Horn, the mines, tons of noise. Lots of creaking and cracking. The forges, noise. Waterworks, the plumbing, all of the noise. More mines, more noise. I do truly think that, the quietest place would be the foundations of stone, the depths of Moria, because it's just so deep into the mountain that any sound that echoes from anywhere else in the mountain would not get down here. The sound would have to specifically come from here because there's no tunnels or mine shafts that connect it to somewhere else. Right? It's one way in, one way out. So the sound would have to come through that one way. Obviously, if you throw a rock in there or a water droplet appears and hits the ground, it would echo. You're just chilling in the foundations of stone, rowing on the lake, suddenly a Balrog and a wizard crash on you, right? I want to see a comic of Paulin doing a renovation show about Moria. I mean, that's kind of what he does. And that's kind of what I wrote. Like, I have the montage sequence of all the dwarves, like, renovating it all, turning on the pipes, lighting, like, planting the gardens, opening up, like, the I don't know, the sun shafts, rotating all of the mirrors to reflect the light back throughout Moria, rebuilding some old bridges in homes. Definitely some renovation stuff there. And it is what he did. And then they all died. Then they all died. Yeah, mine's more a house flipper. Wait, how am I? Is there a way up here this way? Nope. So I definitely gotta go more that way, okay. More like crime scene cleaner. We're going to turn this 10,000-year-old mine into a modern home for dwarves. Watch as we paint the walls and give it that lighting up it needed. This shed carpet is so 4,000 years ago. That would be a great show to witness. Dwarves are arguing about what's in when everything in it is thousands of years old. My dad would like this. Well, of course your dad would like it. He's 3,000 years old. Need something new. Gotta freshen up the place. That color does not go well with the scorched fire marks from the Balrog. We need something else. Dude, we need to modernize this kitchen and give it that homely rustic feel. This is a kid-friendly neighborhood. Minimal Belrock activity, great schools. Minimal Balrog activity. Meanwhile, the Balrog's just still living in Moria, chilling in a corner somewhere. Are you gonna love it or list it? If I can't get a guarantee that the Balrog isn't gonna show up and stomp on my home, I'm just gonna list it. Balrog insurance pays that. Oh god, I have to get Balrog insurance? That's gotta be expensive. Those premiums.
I beg your pardon? Why do you interrupt me?
These are troublesome times indeed.
Anything here good? No, that's less. Well, it's actually technically slightly more crit rating. That's less morale, so just sell it.
Gondor needs your aid.
Ooh, that will be more morale. And we'll sell these ones.
These are troublesome times indeed.
There'll be bigger upgrades a bit later. The premium is pretty low. The only thing you gotta watch out for is don't drop a helmet down this well. Stain damage. Ooh. Actually, we should save that one. Oh, our crafting carryall is full again. Oh, we don't need lump of coal. We can sell these. Rittermark leather will sell. Right, because Rittermark is... Yeah, that's East Emnet, not West Emnet. Because West Emnet is Erling's, yeah. Rittermark. Solid oak. Sell. That's good for now. He goes straight to the Balrog's bedroom, and he's a very cranky little sleeper. Yes, he is. Because even if you drop a leaf down on him, he wakes up.
I beg your pardon. Why do you interrupt me?
Me and him have something in common. sticking with that lore in my brain that the well in Balin's tomb connects straight to the Balrog's bedroom. Oh yeah, I guess that's something that we have to consider is there's Peter Jackson's layout of Moria, and then there's Tolkien's layout of Moria, because they are not the same. Because technically, the well isn't actually in Balin's tomb. The well is actually in a separate room, but do we just go off of the movie and say it is? 'Cause that's what Peter Jackson established. So yeah, that was something. It was something that I had to keep in mind when writing the story, at least. In my head, I decided that, basically, however Peter Jackson showed it is kind of how it should be. Since visually, everyone's gonna have a certain expectation. Yep, 100% has to be right there, no choice. Yeah, that's fair. And it's the same with the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, where Peter Jackson made it this tiny-ass bridge. And I don't think technically it's quite that small, but now somehow we have to figure out, or while writing it, I had to figure out, okay, wait, how do I get a whole bunch of carts across this? And then when they get attacked and there's trolls and stuff, trolls can't fit on that bridge. So then I had to come up with ways to okay, I guess the orcs build temporary bridges to get across because, yeah, there is no way a troll is fitting on the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. At least not the model that Peter Jackson made. Everything being there allowed them to only have to build one set for all of that. Yep. Yeah, they only had to build once. Yeah, because they didn't. Yeah, that's right. They build one set, put the well in there. They don't have to have it as a different room. All right, now we just killed turtles. Ooh, these turtles are beefy. I mean, it also just makes sense from a logistical standpoint to have the Balrog be your alarm clock to get to work. Use the helmet, wake up the Balrog, everyone work. Alright, turtles, you're starting to piss me off now. Oh, that's harrowing. I guess I can call it out. Where are we? Havens of Belfalos. Say north. North of Tardent. Harrowing. North of Tardent. Swamp. 72.8 south. 61.6 west. Peter Jackson's dwarves also don't believe in safety rails. Yes, this is also true. I don't even think dwarves in general care about safety rails. No safety rails in anything dwarves ever make. The one HR dwarf sleeping on the job. New D&D character, bad idea. HR dwarf. There we go. Finally killed all the turtles. Alrighty. Well, I think we will turn in these quests and then call it here for today. And then next week, we'll definitely hit 100 on the guard. Then maybe we'll either spend some time maybe gearing him or start the whatchamacallit, start my champion. See how many characters I can get up to 100 before the next release before the next update, which is I think June. So we still got a couple months, like a month and a half. So I should be able to get. I think I can get at least 3 characters to 100, maybe 4.
What is the meaning of this?
How may I help you, friend? Gondor needs your aid.
Let's just sell stuff. But yeah, I thank you to those that stopped by and said hello. I appreciate it. And thank you to Vibes for the raid as well. Much appreciated. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.